Hi, my name is Brittany, and this video is dedicated towards helping people who are stationed over here, just coming here, or just these can be tips just for military people in general, and for families, especially for families, because we are a family and we are stationed over here. So I hope these videos have been helpful. We're going to continue to do them. If you can share these videos with people who you think might need them, or subscribe. If you're liking the videos, or if you want different content, please comment. This is really just about helping you and giving our personal feedback and our lives here and what it's like without going too far in. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope all of these videos are helpful. All of us do. There's a really great community here of people who are just as helpful as well, but this is just another way to reach out to those. So please keep watching and stay tuned. Subscribe, share, and like. Thanks. Hi, so this is going to be a video about some tips of being first stationed, your first PCS, or PCSing here to Germany, and these are going to be some helpful tips for you. Tip number 1, send your car as soon as you can. I know the luxury of having it where you are right now might feel like outweighing sending it as soon as possible, but believe me, having it here sooner rather than later is going to save you on car rentals. It's going to save you on having to ask coworkers to drive you here and there, and especially if you're a family, you're going to want your vehicle, so send it as soon as possible. You will be given a tracking number to help you track it, so when it gets here you can pick it up, and it's an easy process. So tip number 1 is just send your car as soon as you can. Tip number 2, that is going to be your furniture. Have a plan B. You're going to be given a weight limit. This weight limit is dependent on the size of your family, and I don't know if it's dependent on your rank, but I know family is a contributor. So we were given a weight limit, and we were under our weight limit, thankfully, but that isn't to say that that might be, you might be over your weight limit. So have a plan B. Your furniture, people will come to pick up your furniture a couple days before you're supposed to leave. So if you can, kind of go through things that are unnecessary that you might want to bring here, because, and here's why, if you come here, you might not get on base housing, but if you do, they're smaller. So if you have a lot of stuff, you might want to do a yard sale before you even come here, because there's no closets here, and if you have multiple cars, you're going to have to pay for that second car, and you know, you have to think about gas prices are a little bit higher here. But as far as furniture is concerned, have a plan B. Maybe do a yard sale before you leave, or go through your stuff and just be prepared, because they're gonna, and you know. This number 3 is for those who have the option. We have the option. We had family back in the States, and what we did was we left a couple of things there that we kind of wanted family to ship to us once we got here, and that'll save you from having to haul it in your suitcase, or if you can't fit it or just don't want to live without it, maybe a laptop, a computer, or something that your family can send to you as soon as you get here. So that's another thing to consider and think about if you have that luxury of having somebody who can send that to you. Another thing is be prepared. The roads here are narrow. A lot of the cars here are tinier, thinner. So if you have a bigger vehicle, be prepared to literally squeeze into spots. Even the BX parking lot and parking on base is narrow. And personally, we have gotten hit at the BX parking lot by somebody who was trying to fit into a parking spot, and they had a car, just a regular car, and we have a larger vehicle, not an SUV, but we have like a van, and they were too worried about the person on the left not seeing us on the right and scratched us. So be prepared and be careful, and also be ready for gas prices to be a little higher, and the only places you can get gas is one gas station that they just did on base, and Esso stations off base, and you'll be given all that information when you get here. So be prepared. The first car that you send will be for free. If you want to bring another car, you're going to have to pay for it. What a lot of people do is they'll end up buying another car once they get here that's somebody's maybe PCSing out and they're selling their car. So you might want to consider that, because people sell their cars for cheaper than like the blue book of whatever the price is actually on the car. So that is another thing to consider. Another thing to consider is if you have kids. Personally, when we got here, we were out of the loop. I've lived in Germany before, but I've never lived in this area. I lived in Augsburg, which used to be an old army base and is now torn down, and it's apartments and a village and all that stuff for the Germans. So yeah, if you have kids, there's things to do on base to keep them occupied and not so bored while you're in processing and, you know, trying to get things all settled. What they have on base is there's a bowling alley, which is really cheap. I think it's like, I want to say for 2 people in one game it's only $8, and that's a pretty good price considering it's like one of the selections that you have on base. Also, the community center has things that they do monthly for children. Not too long ago there was like a big event at Donnelly Park for kids, which was awesome. There is playgrounds outside, and there is a play group, or not play group, but there is a play area in the BX. But what I will say is always watch your kids. And I know that parents don't need me to be saying that, but don't think just because you're on base that your kids are safe and that you can leave them there to play by themselves, because a lot of people can have the ability to come on base, and it's just better be safe than sorry. So watch your kids. If you are new to even just anything overseas, once you get here and you start searching for a place off base, if you end up living off base, you're going to have to be aware, and I've said this before in other videos, but it's such a big deal, is that thing behind me right here, this little gate looking thing. This is a heater, and this is off of oil heating. This can be very expensive, and it's kind of what heats up your water. When you take showers, do laundry, dishes, heats up the house. Of course, it's not like you turn this on, it does the whole house. There's one per room, and it is hot to the touch. If you have infants, if you have kids, not all of them are gated. Some of them are gated so where you touch it and you can't feel it. Other ones are just out there like that, and they can be really hot to the touch. So that's another thing to consider, the expense, and if you have kids. If you can avoid getting oil heating, please do not get it, because it is a burden, and I wish we wouldn't have gotten this house because of that and only that. So keep in mind. Another tip would just to be learn some key phrases, whether you're traveling to like Italy or getting stationed there, because I know there's an air base there, or if it's here in Germany or wherever. Learn some of the language. I have a video that I've done, I think not this last one, but the one before that, where I did key phrases in German to get you by. I'm going to be doing a part 2 of that, of more in-depth words and stuff that you could use to get by. But as far as just, you know, once you get here, there is a language barrier and it's going to be hard at first. So what I would suggest is learning key phrases in German, and kind of preparing yourself for that, because it is going to be different. And you know, a lot of the things you're going to do when you first get here is going to be going through base, and the base, you know, military is going to help you a lot, but a majority of people do live off base, and so you're going to need to know how to communicate and to get around. So that would be number whatever this is. Also prepare yourself for the Autobahn. Yes, you can drive like 100 and something miles per hour when it's in that kind of not restricted area, because there are certain miles per hour or kilometers or whatever it is that you have to go during some parts of it, but other parts, the main stretches, it's go as you will. What I would recommend is that once you, and if you're a family, once you first get here, you and your wife, or a husband and wife, both of you get your license as soon as you can, because you're both going to need to know in case there's an emergency, if somebody goes on TDY or, you know, gets deployed or whatever the case may be. Both of you should know how to get around, especially just learn how to get to base and back. That's your first thing. Learn to get to base and back, because that is going to save you. And also learn to get to the hospital and back in Landstuhl, because that is very important, especially if you're a family and you have kids, because you never know what's going to happen. So this is my daughter, and she's a little toddler, so you know, just be prepared for life as a military family over here. Prepare yourself beforehand, especially if you have kids. Research, just, you know, yeah, prep yourself. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope that you subscribe, share to those who need it, and we hope that you have a good time here and travel while you are here, because you have the opportunity where others don't. So, bye!
Bye!